Hi, folks. Now, when I was growing up and I left school, I was always kind of led to believe by teachers that unless you went to university and got a degree, then the chances you getting a good job were going to be very slim in life. Now, this kind of stayed with me. Now, I didn't go to university. I instead went to catering college and learned to be a chef, which I absolutely hated. I was earning appalling money for about the first 10 years of my life. And I always thought, if I'd gone to university, things might have been different and I should have gone. But I later realised when I got to my late 20s, this wasn't actually true. Now, I've got massive respect for anyone who does do a degree, don't get me wrong, it is a good thing. But there are plenty of other jobs you can do without a degree that will still earn you good money. Now, this is something that I don't think kids really get informed of today. Now, bear in mind, when I was growing up in the 90s, there was no smartphones, you didn't have Google. Nowadays, thanks to technology, you can pretty much find out any information at the touch of a button. But when I was younger, we didn't have that, so you had to go on advice by older people and teachers. Now, now to be fair, the majority of my friends that did go to university did go on to get good jobs. They walked into quite well-paying jobs, but that was in the days when we had grants. Now, nowadays, the average student is going to be lumbered with around £50,000 worth of debt. Now, you bear in mind you've got to pay that back, plus possibly try and save for a house and live. And the cost of living the way it is at the moment is absolutely crazy. I don't agree that the government did away with grants because I think that was wrong, because basically it was saying that unless you came from a privileged background or you had rich parents, you couldn't get the same education. Now, I know a lot of working class people do go to university, but then of course you're lumbered with all that massive debt when you come out, which is going to be hanging over you for 20 years or longer. Now, that's one thing I think they need to tell you. Now, there are a lot of jobs you can do without a degree. I've got friends who are window fitters, gas engineers, mortgage advisors. They all earn very good money, and you don't need a degree to do any of those things. You do have to do courses, but they're a fraction of the price of what what a degree would be. So this is what I think, some people, schools need to teach people. Now, yeah, a degree is good and it does look good on a CV, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't always guarantee you a good job. I've got a friend that did a degree in media and journalism, and he couldn't break into the industry, ended up working in retail for the next 20 years, earned a lot less than me. So, if you didn't get the A-level results you wanted, or you feel you're not smart enough to go to university, please don't get disheartened, because there are hundreds of jobs out there, believe me, you can do without a degree. You've got to stay in school now till you're 18, so you could use those other two, 16 to 18, go to college, do an apprenticeship, learn a trade. You can still earn really good money, start your own business. There's a lot of things you can do. So, if you don't feel that you're good enough to go to university, please don't despair, because I didn't go. I ended up in a good job, a job I loved, travelled the world, and, I still feel like, I made the most of my life. So, I did look at going to university a few years ago. I wanted to do an open university degree in criminal psychology, but the cost, when I took into account all the fees and, once I'd qualified, to me, it just wasn't worth the money. But have a look at what other options are there, because believe me, there are a lot.